Okay, our last and third branch of government is the judicial branch. So right now we talked about the legislative branch; they make the laws. You got the executive branch; they enforce the laws. Now we got the judicial branch, which talks about our court system, our more federal courts. It also talks about the state and local and the circuit courts. But we're talking about the federal court, which is actually we know is known as the Supreme Court. Okay, so here we're going to go through these sections. Okay, section 1. Okay, you got some words to know. All right, the federal courts make up the third branch, we just said. The Supreme Court's at the very top. Our legal system, equal justice under law. Okay? Equal justice under law. Under the Constitution, you are innocent until proven guilty. You get to have a public trial and a lawyer. Innocent until proven guilty. Public trial and a lawyer. Sometimes y'all seen them police shows. If you do not have a lawyer, you will be appointed a lawyer. Not always saying your lawyer is going to be the best in the world. Probably you're going to have a rookie that ain't very good, but you never know. Okay? If you can't afford it, the court will provide one. My suggestion, if and when you go to jail, get your own lawyer. Make it a good one. Okay? 1789, Judiciary Act established the federal district courts and the circuit courts. All right, the federal court system, there's 3 levels. You got the district courts, okay, appeals court, Supreme Court, okay? So like we talked about earlier, think of it as a pyramid, okay? At the very top of the pyramid, you have your highest court, which is the Supreme Court. In the middle, you got your appeals. And in the lower, you got your district. Real quick, just think about this. You got your district courts. If you lose in the district courts, you can take it to the appeals court. Okay? Then it's another set of courts. If you lose in the appeals courts, you can take it to the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court does not have to take your case. We'll get to it in a little bit. Section 1. Now we got section 2. Okay? Here's district court appeals, remand, opinion, and precedent. Alright? District courts are the federal courts in which trials are begun. There are 94 district courts. I would highlight that right now. Alright? Each state is guaranteed one district court. Obviously, the bigger states have and need more than one. All federal cases must begin in a district court. Most of the TV shows you're probably watching, unless it's like Judge Judy and stuff like that, are federal courts. Okay, district courts are responsible for the facts. District courts are responsible for the facts. Make sure you know the difference between a criminal and civil case. Criminal deals with like criminal crime. Civil deals with money. Remember, amendments 6 and 7. 6 is criminal, 7 civil. We went over it. All right. The appeals courts. The appeals court's job is to review decisions of the district or the lower courts. Lawyers usually appeal when they feel the district courts did not follow a certain procedure. Okay, so maybe if they did something wrong in with the evidence, or maybe they didn't go as planned and they didn't follow all the rules. Like there's certain rules you have to follow. If they don't follow them, the appeals court looks for breaking of those rules. Okay? The 12 United States Courts of Appeals. There are 12 appeals courts. Okay? There's actually a 13th, which is the federal one. Alright. Make sure you know what a precedent is. Okay? Make sure you know what a precedent is. I'm going to hit you with it real quick. Okay? It gives guidance to judges by offering a model. So it's a certain model that gives guide for later cases. So say your very first person that got a speeding ticket. All right. They come down on this case. They say, hey, we're going to fine them $200 plus they're going to pay court fees. And this is what all breaking the speed limit at around this, how much, around a certain mile per hour. You're always going to refer to this case on later cases. Okay. It's a case that you're going to guide later cases that are similar to the original with a certain precedent. Okay, gives guidance to judges by offering a model to base their decision. Okay, it's a court case. It's like your original court case that happened. Okay, and it's going to guide later court cases of that same thing or similar. All right. All right. Biggest thing here you need to know. The Supreme Court has 9. We don't call them judges. We call them justices. All right. They are called justices, not judges. All right. Here is a picture of right now our Supreme Court justices. All right. I think it was 2 years ago when Trump took office, one of them had just passed away. Well, if you remember, actually Obama was in office because it became such a big stink. Obama was in office. He passed away. All right. Obama gets to, since Obama's Democrat, he gets to nominate a Supreme Court justice. Well, he nominated somebody. Would you think it'd be a Democrat or a Republican? Obama was Democrat. Do you think he's going to put in a Republican? No. He's going to nominate a Democrat. Who gets to vote on this person? Well, that's the Senate. That's these 100 people in Congress. Well, back when he was in office, and now still, the majority, which is over 50% of the Senate, was Republican. Do you think the Republicans are going to accept his nomination, which is a Democrat, for Supreme Court Justice? No. If he'd have nominated a Republican, they would have. So, they kept on denying it. That's why the 2016 presidential nomination was so big, because whoever won got to nominate the Supreme Court Justice. Republican Trump ends up winning it. He nominates a Republican. The Senate approves it. All right, that's why it's so big. Because look at these guys and girls. They're pretty old. They got their job for life. President, you got 4 years. Senate, you got 6. House of Representatives, you got 2. Supreme Court Justice. These 9 people have their job for their lives. Unless they really mess up, which is possible, but not likely. Okay? Supreme Court Justice. Tenure. Appointed for life. That's what tenure means. 100% will be on your test. When you have your job for life, it means you have tenure. All right. Magistrates, more of your local courts. U.S. Marshals, they make arrests and fines. Section 3. Supreme Court. All right. Judicial review, constitutional. The Supreme Court has original jurisdiction in 2 instances. So remember how I told you we had to go from the district to appeals to Supreme? Well, the Supreme Court gets it right off the bat in 2 disputes. If it's between foreign countries, so something between maybe the United States and another country in Europe, or any 2 countries dealing with the U.S. goes straight to the Supreme Court. Or if there's a dispute between 2 states. If 2 states are arguing over something, the Supreme Court's going to go ahead and take over, and it won't have to go up the ladder. Okay? Good thing, or one thing about the Supreme Court, they get to choose their cases. All right? They get to choose their case. If you want to get your case to the Supreme Court, and they deny it, then the decision of the lower court stands. So maybe you lost the appeals, and then you try to get the Supreme Court to look at it, and they said, no, we ain't looking at your mess. It goes back to the appeals, and whatever the verdict was, which probably you lost, that's why you're appealing it in the first place, it stands. So, sorry. Okay, so the Supreme Court, there are 8 associate justices led by a Chief Justice. Okay, the head Supreme Court person is called the Chief Justice. 100% test question. All right. Like I said earlier, the president appoints the Supreme Court justices. Remember, the Senate's got to approve it, not the House of Representatives. The Senate. There's 100. Okay, usually Supreme Court justices are lawyers. They know the legal requirements. Okay. Judicial review, highlight that. 100% will be on every test I talk about branches of government, and 100% it will be on your AP government state final. 100%. Judicial review means the court can review any federal, state, or local action to see if it goes against the Constitution. when whatever happened, these 9 justices use judicial review. That's when they decide if something is constitutional or unconstitutional. That's what it's called, judicial review, 100%. They're going to decide whether whatever the court decided, if it goes against the Constitution, they're going to say it's unconstitutional, but it's called judicial review. I would highlight that because that 100% will be on your test. Marbury versus Madison, 100% will be on the test. All right, is the court case that established judicial review? All right, it also said the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, okay, and it can nullify unconstitutional laws. Know that court case. Guarantees on the AP final too. So that's a big one. She's a big one. Supreme Court at work. All right, I don't think I got much here. They work 9 months out of the year. Kind of like teachers, pretty easy. All right, this is big. The court will accept the case if 4 out of the 9 justices agree to it. Okay? That's 1 less than half. Okay, you would think 5 would have to do it, which would be a majority. Well, it's actually 4. 4 of them take it. All right? It'll be, they'll take it. So 4 out of the 9. All right? All right. Sounds good. You should know it's Supreme Court. We got 9 justices, Chief Justice. They got tenure. Got the job for life. Go through your notes. Study. See ya.